Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Superior Class Auto Racing Super Late Model Series for Race 1 from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, the New Smyrna Smackdown. Beautiful night here tonight for some racing action. 100 laps around this speedway. Just kick off the Super Late Model Series. It's going to be a good one tonight. Tonight's race brought to you by the Hateful Chicken. Stop on down to the Hateful Chicken, hang out, have a beer, get something to eat. Adult beverages, drink responsibly. It's at 164 South Main Street, Suite 300 in Ashland City, Tennessee. Hang out or carry out. The Hateful Chicken. Just wrapping up practice here. We've got a few minutes remaining in the session before we get into qualifying. Time so far, Cody Harger tops on the board at 17.5, and pretty tight times there in behind him. Colt Ansley is second. Justin Napier in the 54 is third with an almost identical time. Let me see if there's even a difference there. It's showing 17.66 for both drivers on that, and then fourth is Bobby Jr. at a 17.7. Taking a look at the details for tonight. Again, it's New Smyrna Beach, Florida for the New Smyrna Smackdown, the Superior Class Auto Racing Super Late Model Series. Little half mile here in New Smyrna Beach. 100-lap event, 50 miles. It's going to click off quickly here tonight. Little tongue twister for you. But while we wait to get under qualifying here, grab some grub at the Hateful Chicken. before we get underway. Any interest in the league, stop by facebook.com/ScarIRacing for more information. We've got more than just super late models. We've got ARCA, we've got Next Gen Cup Series, and we've also got a road course series. So a little bit of everything for anyone involved or anyone interested in joining these leagues. We're broadcasting tonight from a hotel room in Middletown, New York, Middletown, New York. Traveling for business, but dedication is key. I brought all my gear with me so we can make this happen. Luckily, we've got a pretty good internet connection to do this. Hopefully it holds up, but I mention it just in case we do lose the stream. This is untested waters. Usually you can't pull this off from a hotel room, but so far so good. Did a little bit of a test on it last night successfully. We're going to give it a try, and if it works out tonight, we'll be back tomorrow for the Next Gen Cup Series event. Sure to be an exciting one as well. Before we get into qualifying, we're thank our sponsor, the Hateful Chicken. Back here at New Smyrna Speedway, qualifying underway. Let's see who is out on course right now. It looks like the 86 of Colt Ainsley is taken to the surface. Lap one for Colt, a 17:75. Larry Brown, yes, there is a Next Gen Cup Series race tomorrow. We're going to try and broadcast that as well from room 404 in my hotel room. Really hope we can make tonight work out. So far, so good, but Colt Ainsley wrapping up his second qualifying lap. Does improve slightly, puts it on the provisional pole with a 17:74. Brian Rose, little crossed up off turn 4. Looks like he's going to reset before he comes to the green. I'm not sure if he got a lap in yet or not. Does not appear to be the case, so gets lucky on that one. While Brian is running his lap, Will Hewitt has taken over the top spot with a 17.70, just 3/100ths quicker than Colt Ainsley. Brian Rose, first lap on the clock. It's lap 2. First lap was not counted. 18.045 for Brian Rose. Not the greatest time. Right now, looks like 9th out of 11 entries, unfortunately. Justin Napier now on the track in the Hateful Chicken number 54. Brian Rose checking in after his qualifying attempt, overdrove that one terrible. Unfortunately, that's the reality. It sometimes pays to slow down because slower can be faster. Justin Napier looks like he may have overdriven turn 3 and 4 as well as he gets a little crossed up on exit. Lap 1 is a 18:27. Lap 2, 18:37. No real improvement on lap 2 for Justin. Tucks in behind Brian Rose on the grid. Looks like everybody has checked in with a time at this point, except for maybe Jeff Napier. It doesn't look like he took a lap. He's just going to opt to start out back, which is always an option and a strategy. Just kind of let the chaos unfold out front and hopefully collect the scraps after the fact. About a minute officially remaining in the session, though it does appear everyone has made their attempt. Anybody that wants a lap has gotten their laps. We'll get the official qualifying order here momentarily. All right, qualifying session official at this point. Taking a look at the starting grid for tonight's New Smyrna Smackdown Super Late Model event, New Smyrna Beach, Florida. On pole in that 66 Charger Racing Plasmine Technologies machine is Cody Harger. Outside pole is Will Hewitt with Outcast Racing in that 33. Colt Ansley also Outcast Racing, the 86, starting third on the inside. Outside row 2, Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 16 Hateful Chicken entry. Fifth is Alan DeFries in the 71. Carson Conway, sixth in the 82. Vincent Short in the 15 is seventh. Thomas McMullen is eighth. Brian Rose, ninth. Justin Napier is 10th. And Dad Jeff, short track king himself, shotgun on the field. First of two pace laps are complete. Pace car lights are off. We're going to be going green this time by to get the New Smyrna Smackdown underway. Pace car hits pit road, green flag in hand, and we are underway. The New Smyrna Smackdown. Cody Harger into turn 1 with the early advantage, gets a great start on the flag. Colt Ansley to the inside of teammate Will Hewitt, and we lost somebody. Backed up front here with Cody Harger in the 66. A little bit of connection issue with the 33. Colt Ansley up to P2. '66 of Colt Ansley looking aggressive in the early laps here at New Smyrna Beach. Not wasting any time trying to track down the 66 of Cody Harger. About a car length and a half between the front two right now. Colt makes some good progress in the middle of 3 and 4, but off the corner on exit, Cody Harger pulls away. 5 laps into this 100-lap event. Cody Harger's your leader. Colt Ansley is second, and Will Hewitt is third. Everybody minding their P's and Q's thus far. It looks like a single file train from first to worst. "100 laps will click off in a hurry here tonight, but it is still a long race for these guys. Cody Harger continues to lead, but Colt Ansley putting on the pressure here with 8 laps down. Looking to the inside with turn 3, nothing doing there. A little slip from the 66 off the bottom. Still good exit off turn 4. Colt Ansley right in the tire tracks of Cody Harger. Another good entry through 3 and 4. A little bit better exit this time by the 86. Possibly learning something from our leader and how he's driving this track. It's right there. Possibly going to make a move here. Colt Ansley looking to the inside in turn 3 once again. He has position. Can he clear the 66? Not quite down the front stretch. Cody Harger is going to lead this one. Into turn number 1, though, Colt Ansley takes over the lead. Take Cody Harger back to second spot. Colt Ansley to the lead. Colt Ansley definitely has a lot to talk about when we give him the opportunity to write down his thoughts. Self-built sim rig, Fanatec 2.5 base, V3 pedals, BMW GT2 wheel, and a super late model of all things. Logitech shifter, he's got the butt kicker working. I believe that's one of his sponsors on that 86 super late model, as well as I believe Ricmotech has gotten on board for the season. He is pulling out to a pretty decent lead over the 66 at this point. He's got just under 0.6 of a second advantage over Cody Harger. Tires may become an issue here late in the race. We're going to have to wait and see how it plays out, but right now it seems like the 86 is on kill. Not too concerned with tire wear at this point because he's putting a gap on second place. Well, we've got 13 showing in the stream as far as our viewership goes. I don't have a broadcast partner to make a wager with, so who's everybody's pick to win tonight? I know it's 17 laps in, and Cody Harger and Colt Ansley seem to be the class of the field, but it is still early, so go ahead, throw your picks, who your winners could be here in the chat. Love to see them. Anna? How did I know Anna would be first? You can't pick them both. You can only have one winner. 16 in the 54, Justin Napier. Of course, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Justin are both Hateful Chicken cars. I know Anna's a little biased, but that's okay. They're both good picks. Bobby Hamilton Jr., of course, but then again, Justin Napier coming on pretty strong as of late, really focusing on the craft of racing these super late models and even the next-gen Cup cars and ARCA cars. He's really putting a great performance on here in the last few weeks. Larry Brown chiming in for Brian Rose for every race. I don't know about that. I mean, it's nice, but... Of course, Nikki Short, once again, chiming in for old Vince Short. Nikki's usually riding on the passenger side door of most of Vince, if not all of Vince's paint schemes. Lap 21 here at the new Smyrna Smackdown. Colt Ansley is continuing to lead over 66. Cody Harger in second. Will Hewitt running in the third spot. Back and forth, we've got the 16 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. and running fifth, Brandon McKendrick chiming in about Thomas McMullen. Going to save his tires until 30 to go and then start pushing. It's not a bad strategy. Pulling back through the field a little bit. You got Vincent Short in that number 15 HBR livery with Popple and Castlepax Power on it. State Farm Insurance. Good looking car. Teammate Brian Rose right behind Vince, followed by the 54 Hateful Chicken entry of Justin Napier. Alan DeFries in the 71 Smith & Wesson M&P colors. That's a good looking race car. Carson Conway in 10th in the 82, also Holler Boys Racing livery. Got that petty blue color to it. It's a good looking car, I gotta say. And rounding out the field right now is the 40 of Jeff Napier. Speaking of saving tires, that very well could be his strategy as well. Back up front, Colt Ansley continues to lead, but it appears Cody Harger has got some pressure from the 33 of Will Hewitt. That's right, on board the 33 of Will Hewitt. He tries to get around Cody Harger. Ooh, little loose for Will Hewitt on entry. A little slip by the 33 cost Will Hewitt a little bit of time, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. is now right there behind him. Seems that Will Hewitt is driving that car a little deeper into the corner than Cody Harger. Let's see how Cody gets off. Cody does pull slightly off the 33 on exit, but minimal. Will Hewitt is right there. Little bump. Ever so slightly, you can see the brake rotors on that number 66 Plasmine Technologies machine red hot. Certainly using them up here with 30 laps into this event. Will Hewitt on the charge in that Dodge. Trying to get by Cody Harger for second, but I think he might be using up his stuff a little early here. Ooh, a little bit of contact with Vince Short. Did I miss it? Where is it? They got away with it. It was minimal. Drop Vincent Short back to the 8th spot. Back to the battle for second once again. Will Hewitt trying really focused on that back bumper of that number 66 of Cody Harger. Wants to get around, believes he's faster, but if he keeps trying like this, he's going to burn up the tires. He's going to overheat the brakes. It's a little early for this kind of pressure, I think. Sometimes it's hard to dial that back. You always want a driver that you got to slow down, though. You don't want to have a guy that you got to speed up. It's much harder to speed him up. Colt Ansley loving the fact that his teammate is battling Cody Harger for that second spot, because it's certainly taking all that pressure off the back bumper of the 86 machine. He's out to a 1 second advantage. It's a pretty good gap here at New Smyrna Speedway. See, I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm just going to ask, instead of asking who's your pick for the race, I'm just going to say, if you're related to any of the drivers, just say here, because then I know who you're pulling for. Except for Anna, I don't know if you're related by some way, shape, or form, but she's kind of bound. She has to root for Bobby and Justin. I get it. Still good picks, so I can't say I blame you. Cody Harger doing an excellent job at defending that second position from Will Hewitt. Will Hewitt throwing caution to the wind. Tires be damned. Still throwing down some pretty quick laps. Top time on the track right now is Cody Harger with a 17:75. Second fastest is Colt Ansley, and he's only 1/100th of a second off of that. But Will Hewitt is running 17:84 was his fastest lap. Now Will's got some pressure from the 16, Bobby Hamilton Jr. Still looking to the inside of the 66. Turn 1, he's got a fender into that quarter panel. Does he have it? Nope. Cody drives off. Gets the momentum carried into 3. Cody Harger last lap by 18:36. Will Hewitt about just a less than a half a tenth quicker. Let's see what this time by. If Will has still got a faster lap time. Not so much. Cody Harger takes it back by an equal margin. Eddie Rose chiming in, rooting for the hateful chicken replays. Of course he is. It's his favorite part of the race. Kind of like it too. Almost a halfway though, no incidents to replay, which is good. Clean racing thus far. I'm sure things are going to get wildly entertaining in the late stages, but we're not there yet. Will Hewitt, once again, almost exact same lap time as Cody Harger. Looks like they're coming up on the lap car of Jeff Napier in the 40. See if Jeff moves over and lets the leaders go. He's already been lapped. We watch his battle for second, still ongoing for the first half. And Will Hewitt real loose off turn 4. Gives up the spot to Bobby Hamilton Jr. Gathers it back up, doesn't hit anything, doesn't lose it, but loses the spot. Back up front, Colt Ansley running 18:55s. That last lap, Cody Harger still slower by just over a tenth and a half. Let's see this next time by at lap 50, our halfway point, if Cody picks up the pace with some clean racetrack in front of him. A little faster, but not faster than our leader. Definitely cut the margin down. Colt Ansley still has almost a 2-second advantage, maybe a second and a half on Cody Harger. This time by once again a 46, and we have our halfway caution. Don't get excited, Eddie. It's not for a wreck. It's just halfway. Nothing to report. So yellow is out. For a moment, we'll step aside, thank some of our partners, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to New Smyrna's Beach Speedway, Superior Class Auto Racing Super Late Model event, the New Smyrna Smackdown. Brought to you by the Hateful Chicken, put on by Holler Boys Racing TV. I'm Steve Singer in the HBR TV booth. Special thanks to Whiplash Media for our custom cameras. Getting ready to get back underway. Looks like most of the field has made their pit stops. Will Hewitt has gotten into the lead on that cycle of stops. Justin Napier to the outside. Colt Ansley, row 2 inside. Bobby Hamilton Jr. just to his right. Cody Harger, Brian Rose, Vincent Short, Alan DeFries. Pace car's in. We're underway. Good jump by the 33 of Will Hewitt. Looks like our top two may have only taken 2 tires, but we have an incident. We have Alan DeFries getting caught up in an incident here. Eddie Rose, be ready. We're going to go to the Hateful Chicken instant replay. See, Alan DeFries on the outside gets up into the marbles. 71 machine gets loose off turn 2 and into the fence it goes. Single car incident ending on the back straightaway. Not ideal for Alan DeFries. Now, as I was saying, just at the point of the restart, it looks like, looking at pit times, that our 2 leaders, Justin Napier and Will Hewitt, either took fuel only or just 2 tires. Significantly faster pit stops. They ran, Will Hewitt was a 12.8, Justin Napier 12.5. Everybody else was in the 20s. So strategy play going on here. Not sure if that's the right call or not, or if they're just banking on more cautions as we get near the end of this event. The aggression level goes up. The incident level goes right along with it. Beautiful night here for a race. New Smyrna Beach, Florida. 86 degrees, a little warm. Due in large part probably to the cloud cover. Track temp about 88 degrees, so a little slippery for these guys tonight. This is probably going to be the one to go. Lights are off atop the pace car. We will be going green this time by. Get the green with 37 laps to go. The New Smyrna Smackdown. Pace car hits pit lane, and Will Hewitt is off and running. Justin Napier was ready for it this time. A great restart by the 54. Still hangs on the outside of Will Hewitt. Has him cleared into 3, but doesn't take the advantage move to go down low. Gives the 33 the low lane. Will Hewitt a little loose off turn 4, giving the advantage to the leader, now Jeff Napier. We have another caution. Here comes. Hateful Chicken instant replay. Here you go, Eddie. Looks like coming off turn 2, Jeff Napier gets into the fence. Looks like that was by himself. In comes Carson Conway, though, real deep, gets into the left rear and finishes the job. Unfortunately, collects Alan DeFries again. Big incident, turn 4. Upside down goes the 72 of Conway. Alan DeFries shown as out of the race, while Carson Conway listed as 3 laps down. It's going to give us 9 race cars, 9 drivers here in contention for the event. So far, the either no tire or 2 tire strategy for Will Hewitt, Justin Napier, appears to be pulled off and appears to be working. They've had 2 yellow flags come out since that round of pit stops. Yes, the guys behind them are still on fresh rubber, and yeah, they benefit from not burning up that fresh set of Goodyears or Hoosiers in this case, but guys up front aren't wearing those tires anymore. I don't know. We still got some laps to run here. It's coming to 32 to go. I think we'll get the green with 31 to go. I can't imagine that they're going to be able to hold out. But if we do get some more late yellows, again, there's only 9 cars on the lead lap. Justin and Will can take that opportunity to pit late, get the fresh set of tires, kind of do the undercut, as you may hear talked about in Formula One, but it may give them an opportunity to get back up to the front on fresh rubber here late. It's just one option that they can play. Debbie Rose blaming Eddie for the cautions. It's getting on crunch time. Gotta pull them belts tight, you know. Pace car's in. Justin Napier on the gas and away. Good jump for the 54. Will Hewitt right there behind him. Tucks in down low. Gets that preferred low groove. High side for Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's loose and gets into Colt Ansley. I think we stay under green. Unfortunate for the 86 of Colt Ansley. Bobby Hamilton Jr. loose off turn 2, corrects it, but gets into the 86, and the 86 spins down to the inside of the track. We'll look at it real quick. So you see the 16 on the outside, loose off turn 2, comes down low and just nails the 86. 86 hits the inside wall. Meanwhile, we do have another yellow, and Thomas McMullen has crashed. All right, Debbie, I think you might be right. I think Eddie did jinx this. That's all we're having now is yellows with 28 to go. Let's see what happened to Thomas. Let's get loaded up here. Another Hateful Chicken instant replay coming your way, Eddie. Thomas McMullen in the 02 Murder Creek Distillers Chevrolet entry. Down into turn 1. Ooh, contact Brian Rose into the 66. Cody Harger. Cody Harger slides up the track, corrects, gets away with it, but Vince Short in the 15 gets into Thomas McMullen, spins the 02 around. Luckily, it looks like everybody missed Thomas, but nevertheless, we're under caution. Yep, not good, Terry. Things happen. It's short track racing. But the good news is we did get a yellow right after. So Colt, I believe, stayed on the lead lap. Not sure if he's got damage. We're going to have to go back, take a look. Let's see if we can find Colt right now. Just coming out of the pits, so either he had a fast repair or was able to get that car fixed. Hopefully he does not get a black flag for that pit exit. He was quite over the blend line. I don't know where it ends here at New Smyrna Beach, but don't count out the 86 yet. He's quick. He's fired up, I'm sure. It'll be fun to watch him try and cut through the field, make his way back towards the front. Once again, though, we have a caution here late in the second half of this event. Pit strategy seems to be playing out nicely for our two leaders, Justin Napier and Will Hewitt, but don't look now because Bobby Hamilton, behind those two, does have fresher tires. Certainly knows how to make that rubber last. Flag in the air. Great jump by Justin Napier. Will Hewitt a little slow on the gas pedal, but keeps the second spot. Brian Rose looking to the outside of Bobby Jr. for the third spot. Nothing doing there. That low line is preferred. Brian had an opportunity, but Bobby Jr. clears the 89 machine off turn 4 into turn number 1. Old Ansley getting around the 40 of Jeff Napier. Man on a mission, 22 to go. Fresh tires, clean race car behind the 15 of Vincent Short. Looking to the outside, getting that momentum off turn 4. So hard to pass here at New Smyrna Speedway, even with fresh tires. Granted, like I said, with these late cautions, not a whole lot of wear to those that stopped at the halfway. Back up front, Justin Napier continues to lead in that beautiful number 54 Hateful Chicken Machine. Will Hewitt second. Bobby Hamilton Jr. runs third. Fourth, Brian Rose. Fifth, Cody Harden. Will Hewitt drives it in deep, almost gets to the back bumper of Justin, but Justin Napier backed up his entry and got the momentum on exit. Here we see again Will Hewitt driving it in deep. It's going to wear those tires out. Another incident involving Thomas McMullen, unfortunately. Tough night for the 0-2. Let's take a look. Thomas McMullen off turn number 2. 89 gets a little loose. Straightens it out. Thomas taking the high side into the 89. Not sure if there was contact 100% or not. Let's see if we can get another look at that one. From the roll bar. Roll bar cam inside the 0-2. Let's take a look. On board with Thomas McMullen in the 0-2 Murder Creek Distillers. Super late model entry. I don't know if he made contact or not. One more look here. Let's see if we can look at the nose. There's a bumper cam on the 02. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. There's the bumper cam. Okay, front bumper on Thomas McMullen. Maybe a little contact with the 66 that he got away with. Nope, definitely got into the 89. If you can see the fuel cell, there was some contact there. I don't think intentional, but nonetheless, around goes Brian Rose, and we're under another yellow. So 16 to go. And it looks like Justin Napier did opt to finally take that set of tires. Now, Justin's back in the 7th spot. Colt Ansley's up to 3rd, which means Justin wasn't the only taker here. Let's take a look to see who decided they were going to pit here. This round of stops, Vincent Short, Justin Napier, Brian Rose, Cody Harger, all stopped for repairs and or tires. Certainly going to make things interesting here with 15 laps to go. And now I'm a little worried, did I lose the stream? All right, looks like we're still good. All right. Whew. Don't know what happened there. Okay, so someone is spamming the chat. Anyway, under green, 14 laps to go, 13 laps to go. Gonna have to tighten up those securities. Oh, we have a spin again. Justin Napier goes around. And we are under yellow for another time. This will be our 6th caution. Now let's take a look. Not going to see much from this one. Let's go at TV2. All right, Justin Napier back in traffic because he did take the opportunity to pit. Fresh rubber into 3 and 4. Looks like Will Hewitt got crossed up. Jammed up to field. 54 let off and got run over by it. Can't tell if it was the 66 or the 15 that made contact, but Brian Rose collects Justin. See if I can put better security on that chat. See if we can fix that. So with 10 to go, we're on our 6th caution. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is the leader, and Colt Ansley is 2nd. As we said, it's not the end for the 86. He's made his way back up to the front. That incident involving Bobby Hamilton Jr., just a racing deal. Certainly nothing intentional there, because I think Bobby had a bigger chance of going around even there than maybe even Colt did. Either way, going to have a good battle here to the finish. Getting ready to settle things. Pace car hits pit lane. Bobby Hamilton wastes no time to get to the gas. Great restart for the 16. Will Hewitt also a good restart, but loses a little bit of momentum through 1 and 2. Colt Ainsley on the outside, and we have another crash. Cautions breed cautions, folks. Here we are coming to 6 to go, and we're going to go under yellow once again. Justin Napier, Vince Short, and Carson Conway involved. Let's see what happened. So far, so good. Justin slips a little bit. Oh, 40 of Jeff Napier's turned by Cody Harger and collects pretty much everybody else behind him, unfortunately. Vince Short, Carson Conway, Justin Napier not having a good evening in the last half of this race. Brandon, yeah, it seems so. A little bit of desperation going on in the late goings here in the race, but you get better opportunities to pass guys if the caution's not out, so you're not going to move up real well if you're wrecking with everybody else. So coming to 4 to go. I think we're going to have one more yellow and then maybe a 3-lap shootout. You know, provided we don't have another yellow. Because we do have green-white checkers here in the short track series. I think we get up to 3. Got to make that white flag before we can call it official. I really want to ride on board with the 86 of Colt Ainsley on this next restart. See if he can nail and time that restart with Bobby Jr. Bobby Hamilton Jr. so much experience timing a restart. In this case, he really doesn't have to time it at all. He can go whenever he pleases. He went almost immediately when the pace car got off the track last time. Let's see if he waits a little longer this time. Pace car lights are off. Bobby Hamilton Jr. pushing the 86 up into that higher lane ever so slightly, playing a little bit of the mind games. Gonna jump on board with Colt Ainsley. See how he handles this restart. Once again, Bobby gets a good jump. And another big wreck. Cody Harger, Jeff Napier. Yellow is out once again. We're going to go to overtime with the green-white checker. Let's take a look at it. Cody Harger. Bobby takes off. Looks like the 89 got a late jump, or Justin Napier got a good jump. Either way, he had to check up. Cody Harger changing lanes to the outside. Oh, an incident. It looks like maybe Brian Rose dumped the 40. Let's see if we can look at that one more time. Looking at it from the perspective of Brian Rose. See Jeff Napier in the 40 machine. Oh, I see. Jeff gets into the 02, checks up, and then gets run over by the 89. Not a whole lot Brian could do. Not a lot of time to react. So, unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not really sure. Seems to be the bottom is a preferred line. Colt has dropped back into the 3rd spot. Teammate Will Hewitt has inherited 2nd. He will restart, it looks like, on the outside of Bobby Jr. But to Bobby's back bumper is the 86 of Colt Ansley. Green-white checker getting ready to occur here. Means green flag, white flag, and then we end it. Keep in mind, these guys do need to make it to the white flag and cross the line before we have an official race. Yellow comes out before the white. We're going to line them up and do it again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's go time. You see who's up front. You see how many laps are left. Who's your pick? Is it Bobby Jr. with the experience? Will Hewitt with the aggression? Colt Ansley with the aggression. I mean, let's be real. Thomas McMullen quietly worked up to the 4th spot. He's an option. Even Brian Rose has been involved in some of these today, but he's right up there in contention. Really, anybody could win it at this point. Who you picking? Going green in about half a lap, so pick fast. Bobby Jr. gets another good restart, real late restart for Colt Ansley. Will Hewitt tucks in behind the 16, almost gets to the back bumper, through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway. And here we go again, another yellow flag. Cody Harger involved. Not sure if this is going to be the race. They're not resetting the lap count here. I think that's it. Maybe only one green-white checker. I thought we had 3 attempts, but it looks like Bobby Hamilton Jr. is going to win this one at the line. Bobby Hamilton Jr. may be your winner. Yeah, I think that's it. Bobby Hamilton Jr. and the Hateful Chicken number 16. He's the winner. This one ends under caution. Bobby Hamilton Jr., your race winner in the new Smyrna Smackdown. Tell you, the last half of this event certainly was just that, a Smackdown. We'll be back in just a moment and talk to our top 3. Welcome back to New Smyrna Speedway, and I'm with Bobby Hamilton Jr., our winner of the New Smyrna Smackdown. Bobby, do you have us?
Yeah, man.
Bobby Hamilton Jr., congratulations on winning the super late model opener here at New Smyrna Beach. Walk us through those, last 5 or 6 cautions. Unfortunately, things didn't really go as planned as far as running green flag laps. How did that play into your strategy?
Well, it's actually good. We wasn't very good on long runs at all. First off, I got to apologize to Colt and all his fans watching and everything. I come off the corner and bounced off the fence and got into him. Luckily, he got back up here, was racing with us and racing with his teammates. So that kind of helped me. But on the restarts, that was the key. Getting away from him on the restarts where I can get in the corner. And of course, we kept having all those wrecks, and I knew I just got to keep doing the same thing on the restart. The problem with that is I keep doing the same thing on the restart, they're gonna catch on, and so I was trying to change things up all through my career, remembering different things on the start to get away from them, and it panned out tonight. We really wasn't the fastest car here. We just happened to be the right place, right time.
We were watching those restarts one after another, and you were getting great jumps. When the pace car hit pit lane, you were gone. I was almost expecting a late jump to see if you can get the guy in second to jump early, but it still worked out for you. You got the early jump. You got gapped him into turn one most of the time. How was the tire strategy? I know some guys took 2, maybe none at the halfway point. Did you take 4? I think it was 4, right?
Yeah, I took 4. The guy who gave it away was Justin. He was the fastest car tonight on the 2 tires, and then he came in, and this place is so hard to pass. You can't really pass here. I mean, you've seen that. I mean, unless you're extremely fast. So I just knew once I got in the position I was going to be in, and once I got out front, I was like, I don't care if everybody behind me comes to get tires. I'm not coming to get them because I wasn't good enough to pass. So I needed to stay up front. But the 2 tires actually worked. I was surprised because the 54 is, I mean, he's about a tenth and a half better than me on the runs, and I think he was a tick better than a 33. And then when he came in, I was like, I mean, we even said on Res, boy, he just gave that one away, and I think he knew it. But it's just not it wasn't enough laps, and also too, it was so hard to pass. I mean, we go somewhere different. You got a lot of room you can pass with new tires, but on these short tracks, I mean, I've won several of these things not even taking tires. So, but like I said, it wasn't a fast car, but we got THC another win, and we're on a roll. So we're gonna try to keep it going.
Bobby Hamilton Jr., congratulations on the win. A great run tonight. Hateful Chicken in Victory Lane. Is there anybody else you need to thank tonight?
Just all the people watching and everything from the Hateful Chicken, and try to do those guys a good job. Got him in Victory Lane again. I think I want to say we're almost batting 100 as far as Victory Lane. Justin won the Clash, I won Daytona, and we come here. So tomorrow we need to keep it up and get a good run and um, keep this thing rolling.
Hateful Chicken Machine's looking very strong. Tune in on November 8th for the next super late model event at Hickory Motor Speedway. Thanks, Bobby.
Think about it.
All right. Next in, we will talk with our second place finisher, Will Hewitt. Will Hewitt, it's Steve up in the HBR TV booth. Are you with us?
What up?
Will Hewitt, a great run tonight. It was certainly exciting watching you run really good, watching you trying to run down the 66 of Cody Harger early on. Walk us through that, first of all. What would have been the key to try and get around him? Was it just a matter of didn't want to push too hard to burn up your stuff, or was it just that hard to get by?
I mean, I feel like I was taking quite a different approach than anyone else running up there. I don't know. I felt like I was driving it in extremely hard, and that just kind of killed my corner exit speed, and I could just never get a good run on him on the straightaways to be able to pass him in the corner.
Well, it's entertaining to watch in that first half for sure. Pit stops happen halfway. Everybody seemed to have a different strategy. Some took 2, some took 4. I did not catch. I think you may have taken 2. Did you take 2 at the halfway, or was it 4?
No, I took 2. With how difficult it was to pass Cody, I went with the track position strategy there.
It certainly worked out at the time, certainly for you and Justin Napier. Justin also took 2 tires, and it moved him right up front. What would have been the key to getting around Bobby tonight? Was just more laps under green, or these cautions really kind of take that opportunity your way, or what could he have done different?
Honestly, I mean, he was bad fast tonight. I don't think I could have got around him without bumping him out of the way. So, I mean, maybe some more green flag laps would have helped there, but my tires were just shot and my brakes were shot at that point.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on the second spot. It was a great run to see. Great to see you try and put some pressure on that 66. I know he gets around these places pretty well as well. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
I just want to thank Fiverr and Rick Motec, and I got one little piece of advice here for you. You gotta regulate the YouTube live stream chat, man. It's out of control in there.
Yeah, I got to put some controls in there. That was, if you want some adult-themed gifts, I guess you can click the link, but it's probably just a virus, so I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, not a great idea.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on second, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks at Hickory.
All right, thank you, sir.
That's Will Hewitt in the number 33 entry, second place. Next up, we're going to pull Colt Ansley into the booth, our third place finisher. Colt Ansley, Steve in the HBR booth, you got us?
10-4, got you, bud.
Well, probably not where you wanted or expected you'd be. At least a second, maybe even a win tonight was on the table for you, but third place is where we ended up. Had an incident with Bobby Jr. Maybe about halfway. From our perspective, it looked like he just got into the wall and then corrected India and sent you down the track into the infield wall. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, that's about what it was. It was just hard racing that exit of the corner right from the transition to the banking, or from the banking to the flat was a little bit slick. Yeah, he kind of slid up. So, mistakes happen, and I ain't too worried about it. I was more frustrated that the caution didn't come out than anything. And, then after that caution flew at these short tracks, once the caution flies with 20, 30 to go, it's just caution after caution. You can't get up anywhere. And the only reason I got up as high as I did was everybody else pitted, hoping for green flag laps. And, and it just, that's how it went. But yeah, no, it was just racing with Bobby. Sucked. I was hoping to get back up to him, race him. Maybe give him a little bit of bumper. He's given me a few before, so I thought I'd repay the favor. But it was a good race. Really sucked finishing third again, being probably one of the fastest cars, if not the fastest car, and just day late and dollar short again.
Well, again, you got lucky enough that caution for the other incident did come out relatively quickly after your off-track excursion, put you back up in position to fight on for the win. I at least thought second place was going to be the option for you, especially when you actually got back to third in that inside lane restart position. I thought you were going to have something for your teammate, Will Hewitt. Walk us through that final restart. What was the thought process? Is it an issue because you got the caution and it ended under caution? It was just a matter of not having enough laps to make it happen? Tell us about it.
Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, especially at a place like New Smyrna, this is probably one of my favorite short tracks. I mean, I love any track pretty much under half a mile, but I love New Smyrna. It's just wide enough that you can take a look around the track at another car, but it's just narrow enough you got to work to get around them. Yeah, I think that was evident when I passed Cody early on. He wasn't really racing me hard. I think he was trying to save his tires, and I felt like I could push my tires a little harder, and I could. But yeah, just that well, it went back to the restart before. Will and I were racing hard, and he got into one of the corners just a little too hot, and he pushed me up the track, and when that happened, the caution came back out, and that's what sent me back to third. I thought I was going to be in a decent spot, but the leaders, there's such a big range for the leaders to go at any point from the pace car goes off to the green flag. There's such a big range that they can get a really good start. So I needed probably about 5 laps to at least get back to Bobby. And at that point, I don't know that I could have got around him just by racing. It would have been really hard. He would have been really, really smooth like he usually is. And, it just wasn't meant to be. I'll win. I'm going to win one of these super late races one of these days. This is the second or third season we ran. I still haven't won, and I'm going to win at New Smyrna. I love this place, and I want to take a checker flag home here.
Well, congratulations on the third place finish. Again, not quite what you were looking for. It never is unless you got a checkered flag in your hand, but it's the first race of the season for the super late models, and I hope to see you at Hickory Speedway in a couple of weeks.
10-4. Yeah, you gotta thank Rick Matek for being on the car this week, and Fiverr as well. Awesome to have them on board. It's nice to have both cars on the podium to show off our paint scheme, show off our sponsors. It's good to have them on board. So, and hope everybody at the Eiffel Chicken had fun. I was trying to get back to your boy. Don't worry, I'll get him one of these days. And all my.
Oh, and where did we go? Hang on. We lost Colt Ainsley for a moment. Colt, we lost you. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I still got you. I thought you kicked me out in the middle of my sponsors.
No, I wouldn't do that. If you missed anybody, try it again.
No, just gotta thank Rick Matek for being on the car, Fiverr for being on the car. It was really good to have both of our new sponsors on podiums this week, and gotta thank the Hateful Chicken for being on board this season. Hope y'all had fun and enjoyed the show. One of these days, I'm gonna get back to your boy. Don't worry. And gotta thank all my family for watching at home. They watch these races every time, no matter what they're doing. They always will at least tune in to have a little fun.
Terry is always prompt to chime in the chat. We appreciate the viewership for sure, and the engagement, absolutely a must. And again, congratulations on the 3rd spot. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
10-4, see y'all then.
That's Colt Ainsley, your 3rd place finisher. Short track things happening at short tracks tonight. Tempers flaring, cautions breeding cautions. Fortunately, we did end under caution tonight. We did get one attempt at a green-white checker, but our eventual winner, Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the Hateful Chicken colors. Will Hewitt was 2nd. And we just spoke with our 3rd place finisher, Colt Ainsley. 4th was the 02 of Thomas McMullen. 5th was Holler Boys Racing Brian Rose, followed by Justin Napier with TCB. 7th was Vincent Short, also Holler Boys Racing. Jeff Napier was 8th. 9th was Cody Harger. A rough night for Cody Harger. It seemed like just about every yellow we had in the last half of the race he was involved in. Carson Conway, Holler Boys Racing as well. He was 10th. And Alan DeFries, again, an early race. Not early, but late enough, early enough. Either way, 46 laps down. Not a great night for Alan DeFries in that number 71 Smith & Wesson ride. Well, that's going to about do it for us here from New Smyrna Beach, the New Smyrna Smackdown. It's in the books. We'll be back for the Cup race tomorrow, so tune in for that. About 8:30, 8:45, we'll go live for the end of practice and then qualifying and then jump into the race. But tune in also next Monday for the ARCA race and then another Cup race Tuesday. And then we're back to Super Lates on November the 8th at the Hickory Hoedown at Hickory Motor Speedway. That's going to be a fun one to watch. It's a track I don't even own yet, so I'm going to have to check that out, put some laps in, see how it drives, so I can make a better call from up here in the HBR booth. Before we let you go, I want to thank some of our sponsors once again, the Hateful Chicken, for jumping on board and being a major supporter of this series, this league, whether it's ARCA, Super Lates, or Cup. They really get involved in this, not just on a sponsorship level, but in an engagement level. They've got people in the restaurant, at the bar, watching the race on the TVs, enjoying a cold beverage and something to eat. They are involved to a level like you want a sponsor involved, and for that we certainly appreciate them. If you're ever in the area in Ashland City, Tennessee, stop down for an adult beverage and a great meal. Also, Whiplash Media for providing our custom cameras tonight. Just a few, just to get us started. We'll have more going forward, but they're really helping us out in that department too, so we appreciate their support. And that's going to wrap things up. So I'm clicking the wrong buttons. Can't be perfect. All right, guys. I'm signing off. For Steve Singer in the booth, just me tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.